It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, so it's been going for 3 hours. I did a hot lap already, kind of got a lay of the land for the day. There are about 10,000 people in here, so let's get through the doors and make it happen. If you've got any questions, anything, you just go ahead and ask. When they pop up on screen, I'll do my best to answer. Otherwise, we're just gonna bounce from one spot to the next. Anybody who joins, let me know if you can hear me and I've got good audio. Otherwise, I'll just be kind of guessing. All right, so here we go. First booth, we got PXN. If anybody doesn't know about them, they're a newer company. From what I've read, all of their stuff is cross-compatible, so you can play it on your Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And their play right now is definitely a budget play. They've got things available at like $269 for their, I believe it's the V10, which will come with a wheelbase, a wheel, and pedals. So if you're new to the marketplace, you want to get into sim racing, and you're on a budget, it's a great place to start. I did get the opportunity to drive their system the other day, and again, it's light. I think it's 3.2 newton meters for the most affordable, and then as you get up, they do have one that has about 10 newton meters of force. So it's definitely worth checking out. Thank you for joining. If you can hear me, again, let me know. So it's worth checking out their products. Let's come over here and take a look. They do have a new set of pedals. These are their Vector X pedals, and those look pretty good. A button box. Everyone's always looking for a button box, and one of their newest wheels as well. So as a budget play, not a horrible idea. There's some pricing. I wasn't sure what things are going to cost. But here we go. So button box is 94 bucks, or 94 euros, so a little over $100 if you're from the USA, like I am. I don't necessarily know the conversion rates. But there's the V10 Ultra, as I was saying, $275 with a set of pedals. That's hard to beat. Then there's the normal V10, and look at that, $379. So again, it's a budget play, and there's nothing wrong with a budget play. You've got 4 newton meters of torque at 350 with pedals. If you're on a budget, you don't know what you want to buy yet, you kind of want to start testing the waters, or you play on console, this might be a great place for you to start. And I'm not sure why this stream has to be vertical, but it is what it is. All right, so we'll move on to the next booth. Like I said, we're just going to keep moving through hot. If you have any questions, please go ahead and post them, and I'll do my best to answer them from there. So we've got a new motion sim company. I haven't heard of them other than seeing them yesterday. It's called COG HH, COG. So let's get over there and check out what that system looks like. 3DOF Motion, I remember pricing from yesterday when I talked to them was something around like 3,639 euros or something of the sort. So relatively affordable compared to some of the other products out there on the market. So let's check out this rig in motion. Hello everybody, again, thank you for joining. If you have any questions, please go ahead and post, and I will do my best to answer them as they pop up or as I see them. But right now we are at COG, hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it's a 3DOF system, and there it is in motion. Pricing, as I said, about 3,659 euros. I don't quite know the conversion rate. Sorry, I'm an American. Right, thank you. So definitely looks neat. If you guys are interested in that, definitely check them out. So B Haptics, they've got kind of a haptic vest running. So let's run up and just take a quick look and see what see wristlets and a vest. Very interesting concept. What's going on, my guy? This place is absolutely packed. There's people everywhere. I believe yesterday was somewhere around 8 to 10,000, and today's got to be closer to around 15,000 people. Wolf Racing, they're known for making rigs, so they build sims for you. I'd never heard of the company until obviously today, well, yesterday. But you can check out their profile rigs, definitely clean profile on the outside. The seats look very massive and comfortable. So if you're a bigger person, it might be a viable option for you. And who doesn't like a formula style rig, right? Let's keep it moving. 7Sim, they've got some really unique things going right now. This big crowd is because they've got a motorcycle simulator, which looks pretty gnarly. We'll take a quick look at these two. Looks like a tractor sim or a forklift sim. That's definitely a forklift sim over there in the corner, which is pretty neat. I do drive forklifts in real life from time to time, so it's been unique. Hey Johnny, hey Maggie. Excuse me. Can you guys hear me? Just let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I just want to double check and make sure the audio is actually working. It shows on my end, but again, you never know. So here's that motorcycle sim we're talking about. Let's even get the next person on it and just get a few moments of seeing it in motion. It's pretty gnarly. So it definitely has your roll, and then I saw pitch as well. So let's give it a moment. Seven Sims. They built some unique stuff. I'm gonna walk around and see if I can get a better angle so that we can see kind of what's going on. See if I can jump past some people. Excuse me, brother. Thank you so much. Pardon me. Excuse me, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So here's the real bike, and there's the sim. And while they're getting that set up, I'm gonna pan the crowd real quick just so you can see, have an idea of how crazy this place is. Still haven't started. Let's see if they've got anything else running. In the meantime, I value your guys' time. Don't want to waste it by just, standing around seeing stuff that's not happening. These Pimax crystals look absolutely insane. I would love to get one, but at the moment, not quite in my budget because I'm getting a bunch of other sim-related objects. Oh my gosh, John, you're a fool. You're a clown. I'm gonna change angles when I go back just because of that comment. I was low-key thinking the same thing. All right, so check this out. Bro's running the forklift. I do have my forklift certification back at home in real life, so I'd be interested later to hop on this and just see kind of what it's like versus the real thing, especially in VR. Definitely kind of cool. I'm gonna get down low so you guys can kind of see some more of the motion. All right, the bike looks like it's running. There's a rig out. That looks like some fun. Excuse me. Keep it. Thank you so much. We'll keep it on moving. All right, so this is VRS's booth. VRS is actually partnering with Veromotion right now, so they've got 2 motion rigs set up here. They announced some new wheelbases, which are obviously exciting. The Pro 15, and I believe this one is 20. Extensions. And let's look at my favorite thing, a little bit of motion. Three-DOF system. I believe this is their champion. And if I'm not mistaken, that is their 3-inch actuator. Then they've got another one on top of the Legend platform, which also has the full 6 degrees of motion. You'll get your traction loss or yaw, which is this motion, your surge back and forth, and then it also has sway, which pushes you left to right. Definitely an interesting system. Let's get a little closer and get a better look. Motion's always fun to watch people get tossed around. I did have a video kind of reviewing and talking about this on the channel. So if you do want to check this out because you're interested in motion, it's definitely a viable option. The pricing on this system begins at, for 6 stop, I believe it begins at about $13,000 and goes up to $18,000 from 3-inch actuators up to 6-inch actuators. But you can also just get a 3-DOF system from them for all of, I believe it starts at $5,500 and goes up to about $9,000. All right, are there any products you folks are interested in or want to see? If there are, go ahead and comment and let me know and I'll head right over there. So we're going to jump over to Conspit. They're a company who has just kind of blown up and put out a bunch of products recently. New wheelbases, a bunch of new wheels, brake pedals. They're not playing around. And they kind of have everything throughout the different range of pricing. Starting off in like the $300 range, all the way up to their newest GT wheel is around $1,000. I'm sorry, their newest Formula style wheel, here it is. Ooh, $1,700, that's heavy. I did have the opportunity to drive one of their sims here the other day, and it didn't feel bad. It's something that, again, depending on your budget, it might work out well for you. Definitely worth taking a look at. We've even got a nice little F1 style cockpit setup over there. To each their own. What style are you folks into? Are you guys into more GT style racing, or do you guys prefer like a formula car, something with heavy downforce? I'm more into the downforce cars. I think they're a little easier for me at least to keep on track. But here's some of these wheels. And there's pricing on it. So at 350 euros, again, more affordable. This obviously has more features and buttons. $499. I had never been to Germany before. This is 100% my first time. And it kind of makes me ashamed as an American that most of us only speak one language. I know myself, I only speak one language, whereas a lot of these folks here in Europe speak multiple. You're getting English, German, French, Spanish, all types of mix of languages, which to me is amazing. Sorry to be tossing you around. Sometimes your gimbal doesn't act exactly as you want. So here's a bunch of their different brake pedal options and throttles. As well as pricing. Let's jump off and keep it moving. Another company, ActtoRacer, they actually have this insane F1 style simulator. When they started up, it's extremely loud to the point where people are actually covering their ears. I can't say it sounds exactly like a real F1 car. I've never driven a real F1 car, but from the outside, people are hollering, covering their ears, and jumping around. So definitely a unique sim. They've got a few other sims out here on their platforms. Old school formula style car. And of course a GT car. We'll keep moving on along. Let's go, guys. People out here with their little ones, so life doesn't end after you have kids, clearly. Right? Sim X Pro. I don't know exactly what they do, if they build rigs or if they're just like a distributor. So let's take a look and walk around. So yes, it does look to me like they, are a distributor. They'll build you a rig, kind of put your system together using whatever you are looking for in terms of your peripherals. Did you want Simagic? Did you want, like me, Simucube? Got all the different profile rigs and styles, formula style. There's a Simucube 2 Pro. This event is absolutely bonkers. The amount of people here is crazy. Oh, no, you're good, brother. Go ahead. We're just here at the show. Simu Fly, another booth that's generating a buzz. They've got a lot of Fanatec products out right now. Fanatec released some new stuff, so we'll run over there in just a minute. They've got some new pedals, load cells that are supposed to be up to, I guess, 200 kilograms of force. There it is, the Simucube 3 Pro with their new wheel. Love it. Ultimate pedals. Pretty much as good as it gets, but extremely costly. Those will run you around $2,500 US each. All right, let's run over to the Asetek booth. They're not playing around. They went all out. They have one of the biggest booths in terms of manufacturers. They've got their sponsored race car out. What I would do to drive this, I'd probably crash them within 30 seconds though, so maybe it's a good idea that I don't. There's more than 40-year-olds, man. There's tons and tons of people. It's all right that I can't even pronounce your name. Something Irishman. Hey, if sim gaming and sim racing isn't for you, that's cool. It's all good. You don't have to enjoy it. There's people here having a good time, and that's all that matters. People have different types of fun. If it's not your cup of tea, that's all good. But again, it's tons of people here of all ages having a good time, smiling, enjoying a hobby that they all have. We are in Germany, so this is Sim Racing Expo, and it's in Dortmund, Germany. This is day 2 for my guy Sparkler in VR. This is the Asetek booth. They've got all their products out. Let's extend this arm a little bit. There we go. We've got tons of rigs set up. All their products are up here. Asetek is one of those brands that's definitely a big name in the sim racing industry. If you've never tried their stuff, I would definitely say it's good. Do you sleep in a race car bed? That's hilarious. No, we don't sleep in a race car bed. BJ, you think you're funny. That's comedy. Again, people have hobbies, man. It's okay to have a hobby. You don't have to understand the hobby, and that's all right. I'm sure there are things that you do that other people might think are goofy or funny. My hobbies include photography, videography. I fly airplanes for my leisure, and I got into sim racing and flight sim. Why? Because it's relatively, I guess it's not cheap, but you buy it once and you can sit there and enjoy it for years. You can do it from the comfort of your home, and people actually do make friends worldwide doing this, and then guys meet up at events like this. Very unique, like I said, but hey, it's not for everybody, and that's all right. That's perfectly all right. Are some of us a little nerdy? 100%. I'd say I fit in with that crowd perfectly well. But you gotta be like water, man. You gotta fit in anywhere. I don't fly anything, then go ahead and watch the channel, Crayon Eater. You can say whatever you want. This isn't a store, this is an expo. But as I said, go ahead and take a look. Check out other things on the channel. Talk about I don't fly anything. I do. I fly 172s, 182s, 182 RGs. There's tons of videos on the channel of me doing so. But again, I'm not here to argue with you. Your opinion is your own. You can enjoy it. But the negativity, I can do without. You're at home watching my video, slightly upset and aggressive for no reason. I'm here having a good time, sharing with people who, yeah, we might be a little nerdy, but some people care, some people have a good time. If you want to be at home sour, then I'll leave you to it, my friend. Asetek Racing. This is one of many people's favorite wheels in the game. They make that McLaren wheel, which is pretty dope. And they actually have the McLaren car over here, so we'll walk over there to check that out. Here's the McLaren wheel. All right, let's go check out the car. All this nerd stuff, huh? But check it out. Check it out. We may be nerds, but we get to check out some cool cars from time to time. And your boy Max Verstappen, the world's best racer right now. He's the top guy on the planet in F1. He's dominating GT3 also. What's going on, brother? He's a big sim racer. He's a nerd like the rest of us. Epic. Or as all the people in the UK would say, mental, bruv. Cars, cars, and cars. What should you go running in? Go with the Ghost Max 2s, why not? Enjoy it. Smoking fentanyl is a hobby? Maybe it is. It's not a hobby I endorse. There's no danger in playing a computer game at your house, my friend. If you want to do fentanyl, that's your business, but we're going to leave that one alone. I don't want to talk about any of that type of stuff here on the stream. We just want to enjoy ourselves. To anybody who can't make it out to the Expo that's interested, that's why I decided to go live, to kind of showcase some stuff. So we made it over to the Bavarian SimTec booth. And these guys make some of the cleanest, most awesome new wheels on the planet. I've been very impressed with what I've used from them so far. New Alpha wheel. Great GT style wheel. Come on. Less padding, but supportive. Okay, great. What kind of notification is that? Oh, good, no worries. Delta Pro is one of their new wheels. Absolutely awesome. I just got a notification saying something along the lines of alert. Due to YouTube's decisions, the live stream will end and all content on my channel will be permanently deleted. That sounds crazy to me. I don't understand why. I've done nothing wrong other than say we don't want to talk about crazy stuff on the stream. So we'll see what happens in a minute if we're still up and live. These wheels are absolutely beautiful. Not cheap by any means. I drove this one earlier this morning and I thought it was amazing. As a Formula style wheel, which again, that's my preferred car type, or style of driving. I think the high downforce cars are easier for me to keep on track. Well, that's funny. Is that really somebody's account? That's hilarious. Because I was going to say it didn't make sense. That's comedy. I don't think YouTube will shut my channel down. There's no way. Notification, that's actually a channel I'll laugh. Oh yeah, it's a user. Put user on timeout. Done. Thanks, boys and girls. I appreciate that. Because I'm gay? Thanks, PJ. I appreciate that. Bro, you can go ahead and try to, insult me all you want to. It doesn't bother me. But you've been here for what, maybe 5 minutes now? You're clearly having a good time. Because if you weren't, you would have left already. Tons of rigs and options, man. I like seeing all the people. Like I said, men, women, kids, adults, older folks who I wouldn't have assumed were into sim racing or sim gaming in general. Absolutely bonkers. So now let's go check out some of the new products from VPG Sim, which are crazy. So this is the new Porsche 992 Cup wheel, and it's an exact one-to-one wheel. It's not a replica. It was actually designed and created in the same factory as the wheel from the real car. It's extremely light. I actually ordered mine after Sim Gaming Expo in Chicago last month, so they should be shipping. I believe yesterday is when they should have already shipped. So hopefully mine is ready when I get back stateside. Let's go take a look at the real car though. There's Novus Motion Sim, and they're running the Porsche Cup wheel. This is where I used it yesterday on the Simucube Pro 3. Epic wheelbase. Yeah, I think like you said, somebody said it, that's 100% fake, so we're all good. Appreciate it, guys. Motion sims are so immersive. I do have a motion rig at home, which is the D-Box G5s. Nothing wrong with them. I like them. I wish they had more travel. So hopefully I can upgrade in the near future. But now let's check out this Porsche 992 car. Sorry, this is the official car. This is the only one that's been produced so far, and it's actually here. I got the opportunity to sit in it yesterday. I feel like a spoiled brat, but the car is beautiful. We've also got the Mustang GT3 car on the other side. So we'll go check out that wheel and then go take a look at that car as well. Thanks, PJ. Great to know that you're racist. It's all good. And just so you know, you're also kind of ignorant because you can't spell. The word you're attempting to spell has 2 G's. So if you want to be racist and insult somebody, at least spell correctly. Because otherwise, all you're proving with your racism and your lack of ability to spell is how small-minded you are. But again, hey, you don't like it, you can go ahead and leave, buddy. It's no problem. There's the wheel inside the real car. Porsche. Love, love, love a good Porsche. New glove company out. This is their first year exhibiting. I tried their gloves on yesterday, even ran with them for a minute. They definitely feel good. They've got tons of layers to protect your wheel so that the sweat from your hands doesn't seep through it and get onto your wheel, because some people are spending tons of money on these things. And here is the Ford car. I actually really like this steering wheel. Every time I see it and or use it, I'm like, man, I should own it. But you gotta budget sometimes. So again, same thing with this wheel. It's not a replica. It is the official wheel from the car, which is pretty gnarly. It was developed in the same factory, same mold, same carbon fiber, extremely light, and works well as a hybrid wheel. Let's go check out Heusinkveld. Excuse me. They have a new wheel that is definitely interesting looking, and it's not for everybody in terms of the look of it. Personally, it reminds me of like Yoda from behind. And you'll see why right here in a second. Check that out. Definitely an interesting looking wheel. So this is actually Automobilista 1, and the way it's set up, a lot of the Formula teams, so Formula 3 and Formula 4 teams, this is actually their setup that was specifically designed for them in terms of how they race on the game. One of the engineers that did all of the physics for this game and those specific cars to the specs that they have them, was able to actually bring their custom software out here, so we're actually racing on specifically what those teams and drivers use. They don't necessarily use this wheel, but in terms of the physics and the car, the way it's set up, that's what they use. If you are a sim racer and you're looking for pedals, the Heusinkveld pedals are absolutely phenomenal. In my opinion, they're probably the second best pedals on the planet. In terms of passive pedals, they're the best passive pedals you can get. This 3-pedal set here will run you, give or take, around 1,300 US dollars. But they are phenomenal, and they do feel like the pedals inside a real car in terms of what you feel from the pedal. There's no feedback or haptics or anything. You can buy something extra to get haptics if you wanted. And then another thing they're really known for is for their sequential transmissions or shifters, and then of course their e-brakes. So they make phenomenal products. Definitely some of the best on the market. I'm probably gonna get their brake as Asetek Racing came out with a new rally game that looks absolutely epic. So I can't wait to check that game out. It'll be releasing, I believe November 13th is when they'll kind of be releasing the beta version, and it'll be a work in progress until it's fully ready. So, need an e-brake for that. It's the same product. You have the ability to just flip it, turn it around, and mount it however you like. They're my guys from Simucube. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
Good. I've got it also here.
What's up, baby? Chilling, man. Live on YouTube right now.
How'd you get that?
I got this back in the States a few years ago. This was around the time of Olympics, when skateboarding was in the Olympics for the first time.
Yeah.
I ordered this hat at that point in time. Appreciate it. My guys. Good to see you guys as always. Yep, for sure. Those guys work for Simucube, who make the top products on the planet. And here's that wheel that we were talking about. So it's actually battery operated, meaning you don't have to have it plugged in. And I believe they said you can get like 6 hours of use out of it. And if you turn off some of the features, you get like 60 hours. I'm surprised at how well the iPhone does. Footage on the iPhone actually looks pretty good. The only thing I don't necessarily love is the constant changes in white balance. How things go from almost looking orange to blue sometimes as it's changing over. But hey, not gonna complain. So we've made our way over toward Trak Racer, and Veromotion has their biggest system here. This is their, I believe, Legend GTR. That's the full $18,000, 6 degrees of freedom. Definitely toss you around quite a bit. And if you guys out there have a motion system, and if you do race, what games do you actually play? What's your favorite? So Veromotion actually used to be PT actuators, which have been around for quite a while. They kind of did a rebrand and are coming out with new products, constantly doing updates. Here's some of the pricing compared to some of their competitors. If you're in the market for motion, this is one of the systems, like I said, that I really do like, and I like the pricing in terms of being for the consumer market. So Trak Racer's got some of the Moza products out. One of the issues I have with the flight sim setup currently is there are no rudder pedals. So how are you gonna fly an airplane with no rudder pedals? You know, with the yawing effect, P factor and all that, the airplane pulls to the left, you have to add right rudder. There's no ability to do anything of that nature. So it makes it definitely difficult. More iRacing. iRacing is definitely the most popular game for a good reason, but the graphics are behind a little bit. Automobilista 2, beautiful. Asetek Racing with all the mods, also beautiful, but then they don't necessarily have all of the like telemetry and physics. Running NASCAR games over here, having competitions. There's tons of giveaways and prizes to be won. A bunch of companies have come out with new gloves and products they're selling and giving away. So I'm excited to see that. I'll probably get a few of them for testing glove-wise, and you'll see those out on the channel later if you're interested. Excuse me, gentlemen. And a NASCAR-style car. Hopefully things calm down a little bit. This is day 2. It's Saturday, so obviously this is the busiest day. I think Sunday might be a bit more calm. And here's the new game that should be releasing. I believe this is the 25th of November. Project Moza Racing. The game, in terms of the graphics, look absolutely beautiful. I haven't had an opportunity to get on it and try it yet. I will make sure to do so. A lot of the developers and team are actually staying at the same hotel as I am. So I was hanging out with those gents, drinking the other night, which has been fun. You're in Europe, right? So you got to drink. And it's Germany, so they drink a lot of beer here. I'm not a big beer guy, but when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. And I know you guys can make jokes and take that so far. We're not going to do that. They've had challenges. They just finished a influencer challenge. So some like the big name influencers, OC Racing was on there, and a few other folks were racing one another. So that was a cool little competition to see. It had a crowd out because a lot of the people that they know and recognize racing, which is always fun. Over here in the corner, they have a farming sim. That's why they've got this big, monstrous tractor. I've never played farming sim. I've seen it before, but not something I fully, am all in on. But nonetheless, let's go check it out and take a look. See how it's going. Here goes some more folks from the Simucube team. Looks like they're farming wheat. I don't know. Any of you guys play farming sim? From what I've heard, this game actually has quite a big following. Tons of people play it. It's definitely unique and niche, but there's something for everybody, kind of whatever you're into. As you see, it's available on every system. Real race cars. This thing has to be absolutely crazy to drive. And then Thrustmaster, who people know a lot from console gaming, as for a while, they were one of the only companies available in that industry, them and Logitech. They've got a bunch of new products as well. I'm not sure if they're, cross-compatible or not. But there's something for everybody in this industry. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars if you don't want to. You can get by spending a couple hundred. So guys, comment below and let me know, what games do you play? What products do you currently race in? What products do you want to see, if any? Because all the biggest manufacturers in the industry are here. I'm happy to go over there, get any questions you guys have answered, and show you any products that you actually want to see. But as I said, if you guys don't have anything you want to see, we're just going to continue on, popping around, taking a look at everything. All right. So this is a big gaming arena that's been set up, and they've been having competitions in here, which are pretty neat. Check that out. their sim set up inside, you know, the body of like an actual race car, which is pretty neat. Kind of bonkers, a little crazy, massive. I don't know too many people that would have the space or size for something like this. But definitely cool when you set the viewpoint and it's actually like you're looking over the hood of the real car, or I guess the front end of the real car. Motion systems. You've got the D-Box. This is what I have at home. It's not a bad system. I have the G5s. As I said, they don't really have much travel. I think it's like 1.5 inches. The one thing I am excited about is to actually see when this is released. I don't remember what they call it, but it's like let's call it an Evo wheelbase. It's on rollers, so you can make your adjustments really easy. But what I'm excited about is now it will only take me 2 volts to pull this off, remove my racing setup, and then slide on my flight sim setup, so to cut down some of that time swapping in between the two. That's probably one of the reasons I don't swap often, is because it takes so long and it's kind of annoying. Motion. This is not the G5s. I think this system is probably extremely expensive. The box stuff is pretty costly. If I were to guess, this is probably their system that costs more like $27,000. And that's not counting the base itself. And it goes on and on and on. The curved 45 monitors look phenomenal. This might be something, if I change monitors up, I might go with something like this. It's definitely more like you're in a capsule, you know, kind of enclosed. Definitely immersive. So apparently people have been stealing these little aluminum profiles. Like, what a joke. What are you going to do with that? And why are you stealing it in the first place? Alright, so ASR Pro, I have the old ASR 6. But Pro is awesome. They've actually hollowed out the side so that you can run your cables through, making cable management that much easier. That's definitely my nightmare, is cable management. I'm sure most of you can agree with that. Nobody wants to see ugly cables, but at the same time, nobody wants to spend the time it takes to set all that up. So there's the Evo wheel deck. That's what we just talked about. Tons of adjustments you can make, but again, the ability to possibly slide that out and swap in flight sim stuff, winning. Where in tarnation is this? What up, JG? This is Sim Racing Expo. We are in Dortmund, Germany. It's a 3-day event, and it's the biggest sim racing expo, probably biggest sim gaming expo in the world. There are about 15,000 people here throughout the weekend. Yesterday, there was probably around 6,000 folks. And today it's closer to, I would guess, maybe 10 or 11,000. The lines have been crazy outside. It's around 2:15, so a good amount of people that got here this morning have kind of, headed back to the hotel or taking a break. Late lunch rush, so this is the time, if you're here, to hop on different things. D-Box G5s. Those are the motion systems that I have. Again, no complaints about them. If you're in the market, shoot me a DM on Instagram. My handle is the same. I'll be selling mine. Brand new, they're $8,000. I'm willing to sell mine for $6,000. I'm just looking to get a system with a bit more travel and movement. So this is the main stage where they've been having, tons of like podcast style Q&As, things of that nature. You've been getting racers, sim racers, companies, CEOs up here to kind of talk about the state of the industry, introduce themselves, and talk more about how long they've been in the game, whether they're making products or they're established sim racers or people who have made the leap from sim racing to racing real cars. Okay, so now we're over here at SimLab. SimLab is a great company. They make a bunch of different products. Obviously, they make your your chassis, and they've got 2 new wheel decks that they're releasing. I'm not sure exactly when. They said they think November, but I raced on them both yesterday, and they're not quite ready. There's definitely some things that they're still going to be working on fixing. So maybe they would get it in. I'm expecting early next year, possibly. One of their wheelbases is the DDX 39. I drove this one yesterday, and this is 39 newton meters of force. Let's get this gimbal moving. Here we go. In a Formula style car, which is what I like to drive. So this is a blast. We had it cranked up pretty high yesterday, and you definitely feel the tension and the force. My feedback, which I told them, is I didn't feel or notice any of like the road textures, which obviously to me is a miss because that's part of what makes you feel connected. I want to feel like the seams in the road, rocks and gravel, stuff like that. You obviously feel the big bumps, like if you hit a curb or grass, yeah, you'll feel that. But otherwise, there's a few things, like I said, they're still working on. There's their Formula wheel. This is an exact replica of the Mercedes Formula One wheel, like the one that George Russell's driving and that Lewis Hamilton was driving. So a lot of development went into this. I used this a few months ago to try it out. It's amazing, but it is like a $26 or so $100 wheel. Definitely out of my price range for a single wheel. But look at the size of this wheelbase. Look how big that is. It's massive. So it actually has fans inside for cooling, and then toward the back, the power unit is also enclosed. So you won't have like an external power brick. Unique and different, but as I said, it's not quite ready yet. From what I felt, there were things that I knew it still needed. So based on that, I would say hold off and wait until it's released, and you can get reviews from people who are going to tell you, the truth and what it is. Hello, how's everybody doing? Yeah. Cheers from Ohio, JG. Thanks, I'm having a great time. I'm based out of California, so I made the trip for and also shot some stuff at Silverstone in the UK, which my first time being in either country, so I'm excited. It's been awesome. Another thing about SimLab that I really do like, I like their pedals. To me, these are probably the 3rd best pedals on the planet, partially because the price point is amazing. I believe you can get the set of 3 for, I want to say around $850, which for what you get, great pricing. They feel awesome. I spent at least an hour or so driving on these pedals yesterday. When I drove the DDX 26, I had about 30 minutes, and then spent another probably 15 minutes at least driving them on the DDX 39. And then I came back and got some more time over here. I know it's probably loud in the background because there's tons of background noise. I like the idea and the ability you have to adjust your pedals as well as your seat positioning. That was distracting. I wish somebody would tap me on the shoulder while I'm racing. Like, stop messing with me, man. That's clearly his buddy. That's hilarious. I would have turned around and kicked him. Excuse me. All right, so we made our way back toward Fanatec. We're gonna check out their new products now. I didn't get a chance to race their new pedals yet. Obviously, the lines have been long because it's new product, which makes perfect sense. And I am extremely impatient. So standing in long lines is not really my vibe. It's closed off, so we're gonna have to take a quick lap around the other side so that we can get in there and take a look. But as we walk by, let's check out the IMSIM or IMSIM motion system. It's very clear that the platform, which is being hidden down below, that's giving you kind of like your yaw and surge and sway. And then those look to me like the QS 220 3DOF system from Cubic Systems. There's the owner of Simucube on the left. What's going on, my guy? Good dude. Great company, amazing products. Like I said, they're my favorite. That's where I plan on spending my money. And their active pedals are top notch. Prompt Sim Racing, my guy, what's poppin'? Good to see you. Jim, how much on which product, my friend? I can get you a pricing. They have VR going. There's a few different systems running the Pimax Crystal Light, which is looking epic. I'll go over there in a second when we get over towards Simucube. They have a pretty awesome setup. What's going on, guys? No, it's all good. Go ahead.
Thanks.
No problem. All right, so these are the new pedals by Fanatec. Obviously a new wheelbase. And then there's the 3-pedal set. They look beefy. They look absolutely monstrous. Greg, what's happening? Good morning. Yeah, Jim, sorry. Let me know which product it was you were asking about pricing, and I'll go ask somebody that works with them. So if things are released or they've announced pricing, I'll get that answer for you. Check these things out. Fanatec's finally trying to step their game up. I respect it. It's nice when, new companies come in, old companies start pushing for newer stuff. That way, the industry keeps getting better. But for me, I gotta go with those Simucube active pedals. Many reasons. Partially, the ability to change things in the settings without having to get out of your rig and unscrew things. But on top of that, you have the ability to go into the settings and then set almost a hard stop where instead of being like a linear feeling, it ramps up drastically at, say, your ideal braking point. Let's say in the car you're driving, you never want to brake more than 50%. You can kind of set that up because at 50%, it's almost like hitting a wall. So now you're less likely to lock up the tires and go skidding off. And one of their rigs here is running the new Asetek Racing. And then they have that set up in here. Let's go take a quick look. There's nobody on it in there. So they had a little booth set up where they've got some of like the YouTubers and the big names in the industry out here trying out their new Asetek Racing, which will be available very soon. But all roads lead to Simucube. So now that we're here, let's run to the Simucube booth. They announced their new system the other day, not just the Pro wheelbase, but a whole new software link system that's going to be very interesting. I know it upset some people in the industry because they're worried that now their current products aren't going to be, functioning properly with it. So we'll see kind of how that goes in the future. But here are those pedals. This is the Active Pro with the black and the Active Ultimate in the orange. I believe the major differences, I'm sorry, brother, I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. I'm sorry, I'm your typical American, only speak one language. I'm kind of embarrassed. I actually need to work on that. But major differences, there's a bit more adjustability. You don't need like another external link or power source for the Ultimate, and you have the ability to have more force feedback on the Ultimate pedals, which is the one in orange. Alright, so we made our way over, and now this is their co-pedal, which is very easy to swap between a throttle or a clutch, not a brake. If you want a brake from Simucube, you're going over there to get haptics and force feedback. Absolutely epic. So here's the Ultimate. 5-year warranty, and let's get that up. 5-year warranty and 170 kilograms of force. Your Pro pedal doesn't say the same information, just says the weight. But I know that was probably like 120. Simucube 2 Pro, which was regarded by many people as the top wheelbase in the industry, and now the 3 has come out. The Pro is available at 20% off on a discounted sale, obviously, because the new product is out. So here we have all 3 of them. You've got the Sport on the left, the Pro in the middle, and the Ultimate on the right. I think the Ultimate's like $3,300. This bad boy here is about $1,700, and then you've got $1,500 if I'm mistaken, or $1,400. And then here, what makes it really unique is here with this little controller, you can turn up or down the force live in game. You can also do the same thing for your pedals with this. Now you don't have to back out to the software. That makes life that much more easy. You can do it while racing. You don't have to pause. You don't have to miss what you're doing. Another way that Simucube is kind of pushing the industry forward and innovating. All right, here we go, some of the new wheels. These are all of the new wheels that are integrated and are going to work with the Simucube Pro 3 on release. I believe it should be shipping in the next couple of weeks. It also has a new quick release system on the new wheelbase. So if you have the prior one, you'll definitely need a new quick release. Not to mention, there is now like USB pass-through, so there's no need for like wires and cables on the new system. And they partnered with a handful of brands already to give you those kind of wheels that we're used to and love. Bavarian SimTec, SimCore, Delta, P1, and then obviously since they've got a whole new system coming, they designed their own wheels as well. Now let's take a look at that Asetek Racing rally game. Excuse me, sir. Pardon me. Excuse me. All right. Again, the game's a prototype, but man, it looks wicked. For the people that do run rally games, again, all the folks from Simucube, a lot of them are Finnish, and Finland rally is like everything. So they play a lot of the current rally titles. And so far, they say that this is one of their favorite, and it definitely is better than, say, your WRC by EA or Dirt 2. And some of these people are super quick. They say you've got more physics, less grip. I think WRC is notorious for being extremely grippy, and that causes it to be a little unrealistic. So here's some of that VR stuff that Sparker was asking about. So here's the VR. This is the Pimax Lite, Crystal Light. And this rig is by Rogue, I believe it's pronounced. But check it out. It's a very unique setup and look. You've got the pedals out in front of you, and then there's a motor that moves the pedals forward or back for you to allow you to set it up. It's sitting on the QS220 motion actuator. It's 3DOF, and then it's obviously set up in Formula style with the seating position. Absolutely awesome. I think they said the way that it's currently set up, obviously without the wheelbase and the pedals, is around 2,000 or so euros. And that'll get you the motor that'll move the pedals for you. You'll also get the haptic shakers, which you can't really see right now. There's one here, and then there's one kind of visible below on the other side. And that'll kind of give you that current setup. So something very new and unique. And running it in VR, I think it definitely helped with depth perception, which is something that I know I struggle with sometimes in terms of knowing where my right wheel is or opposite of the driver's side. Which also reminds me, I was driving in the UK, I rented a car, and that's how I'm getting around. Driving on the right side is so strange, because I'm used to hugging the left. This is pretty neat, and it's tuned pretty, I would say, gingerly, so that way you're not getting tossed around too much, because VR can make some people sick on its own without the motion. So if the two are tuned together and they work together, it can be really immersive. But if it's off, get a barf bag ready. So over here, there's no game being played. They're just walking people through the Simucube system and how you can make adjustments to the profiles of the pedals. And this is kind of what I was talking about that's so unique, that makes them, top notch. So sit in and listen for just a moment. No problem, Sparker. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Yes, they do support our pedals. And we are bringing
Definitely awesome setups, really cool stuff.
All of our products to be supported.
So your ability to adjust the curves from linear as they are now is one of the things that I would say makes it so unique. You can also adjust, obviously how how much force you drive in a GT car versus a Formula style car, but just the ability to adjust those curves based on the car you're driving and to set a hard stop really sets this apart. It might not make a difference for somebody like me who's not very good at racing, definitely newer to it, but if you're someone who's chasing tenths of a second or looking for just that little extra piece to help you dial in your braking, that could be it for you. We'll check out a few more rigs. Again, O-Rogue system kind of all the way around. This is kind of how their normal system is set up. This doesn't have the motor moving the pedals for you. And I don't see haptics either, so I believe this rig is closer to like €1,000 just for the rig as it's set up. Obviously, no peripherals, no wheelbase, no pedals, etc. There's the active Pro pedal and their new Co pedal. And again, look at the crowd. As I said, all roads lead to Simucube.
Sorry, the mix is working.
Excuse me. Tons of deals and sales over here at SRS. They're a sim shop out here in Europe. One that obviously being from the US, I've never experienced or heard of. And I'm sure people from here would say the same about the things that I use. So here's that private room Fanatec has set up. And currently you've got all the Asetek Racing rally guys in here kind of talking about their system. Well, the whole dev team, not just rally guys. So that's what folks are in here running, different Asetek Racing setups. Really cool. Jamin, what's up, brother? How you doing? Pedro Rodriguez, what's popping? How are you? Hope all is well. Oh, Sparker, I know you're a flight simmer. You and I are in the same Discord with FlightSim.com. They make the best flight sim products on the planet, bar none. So I'm excited to see them push the industry forward, and also excited to see how other companies respond and step their game up. So now we're making our way over to Simagic, which if you've seen the channel before, you know I used to have their products. I like their products, think they're great. I actually flew to buy one of their wheels a few months ago, and I made a little short video about that. That was kind of fun, just unique. Instead of driving, 40 miles or so, I decided to fly about 26 or so nautical miles. One, because I hadn't flown in a month or so, and it's fun flying, as opposed to sitting in traffic and driving. And I actually bought that exact wheel that he's driving right now, the GT Neo wheel. It's a great wheel, around $200, $230. I believe that's the current price. And in terms of value, what you get is rigid. It's got no flex. I have nothing but good things to say about it. It's just that after trying out the Simucube stuff, I was so blown away that when I got home, I sold that and said, all right, this is where I'm going. They've got a new quick release over here from Simagic, which is great, right? Giving you the ability to connect multiple wheels super quickly from different manufacturers, as opposed to just Simagic. This Bavarian SimTec wheel, again, if you like Formula stuff, this is probably the best feeling wheel in hand that is specifically designed for Formula. Jimin, what games do you play? What type of stuff are you into? Do you drive GT cars, Formula cars? And then here's their new pedals as well. I believe these are more of a budget-friendly type of pedal. I don't exactly know the pricing. But new stuff is always good. New stuff is always good and exciting. Oh, no, all good, my friend. How are you? Simagic has like a lounge setup, which has been pretty cool. Just get the logo real quick. I am having trouble right now. There we go. It's probably because I have this really big DJI receiver on the bottom of my phone, and I'm just using, you know, the DJI. What is this? The Osmo Mobile 6, not 7, 6. So here's their new lineup of wheelbases. This is the new lineup of Evo products. Definitely great. I used to have the Ultimate, or the Alpha, which I believe would be their middle product. Let's see what they feel like. Oh, they weigh a ton. This is a tank. I also had this wheel, the FX Pro wheel. Not bad. Let's take a look at their new wheel, though. Their new Formula wheel actually looks epic. I know I've left the ecosystem, but it still is a good-looking wheel. Same look and feel. Simagic's products, in terms of what they cost, it's something I would definitely look into because they are affordable compared to, you know, some of the higher priced products like Simucube. And in my opinion, they're good enough. If you're on a budget where you're thinking between Fanatec, Simagic, or Moza, there's no question. Use Simagic. I prefer them over Moza or Fanatec. Not to say bad things about those companies, it's just that I do think these are slightly higher quality personally. And everybody's always interested in DDUs. So they've got a new DDU, which looks great. It's just one more way to see all of your data, right? Your tires, you can customize them. As long as this is available or works with SimHub, you're in the game. And there it is. It says fully SimHub compatible. Perfect. Daniel Newman Racing, what's up? His profiles are the top notch in terms of, you know, colors, customizability. No matter what you've got, they're kind of the folks to take a look at. And I actually just watched somebody take the DDU off the wheel. That I was unaware of. That was epic. So he took it off here. I guess it's magnetic. And he walked over and he put it on top of the wheel. But will you put it back real quick? I guess not. I'll do it myself. That was crazy. That was crazy. Didn't know it came out. Wow. Alright, we're gonna grab it. We're gonna do the same thing. I didn't know that was even possible. That's unique. There it is. That's where it clicks in. Right there. That's cool. Alright, way to go, Simagic. You just opened my eyes to new stuff. Max, you play VR? Awesome. What VR game do you like to play? There's the lounge setup. They got some couches, making it comfortable. Some more of their wheel offerings. Come on, turn. There we go. That's what we need. There it is. So depending on what you're into, every manufacturer makes, you know, different wheels for whatever type of racing you do. Oh, you have some flights and stuff like that that moves and is magnetic? That's pretty cool. We already kind of talked about their pedals. You don't really need any shifters or brakes unless you're, you know, doing drifting or playing rally. And I definitely want to get into some of the rally stuff because it looks amazing. Now the graphics are what they are. So we'll head over to BDH and take a look at some of their hardware. What they're known for is basically creating shifters. They make H-pattern shifters and sequential shifters that are high quality, very heavy duty. Costly. I think with the new promo pricing, you can get any of their singular shifters that only work like for one function for between $700 and $500. If you're getting their shifter that you can switch between having like an H pattern or sequential, that's going to cost you, with the new pricing, I believe it's close to $1,100 as opposed to $1,300. Let's talk about some of their new products. So they have a new sequential shifter. that definitely has a nice little bite point to it, and hear that? A nice sound and feel. This is definitely more of the American style because we always have, you know, the big shifters in our drift cars and such. And then they have force feedback H pattern shifter that will be out probably March, I believe they said.
Nothing, darling.
And I don't remember the release of this, but we'll ask real quick. When is this going to be released? When will this be released and available?
We just started taking sales, pre-sales on the website.
Okay.
When are we looking at launching? Q1?
That's around February.
Okay, around February. And then the tank, when's this coming out?
March.
March. All right, cool.
March is the time to start shipping.
All right. There it is. There you have it. So again, if you're, you know, into some of the premium stuff, you've got a bit of a budget, this might be a way to one of the ways to go. These products are robust. They've got a weight to them, a feel to them. They're fantastic. Okay. And he's even taking the front cover off so we get a nice little look from the front side. See? All you got to do is walk around with a camera and people take care of you. And there it is. Big and hefty and beautiful. And they actually have it in motion. It's working today over there, right?
It is indeed.
So we'll go over there and check that out in just a moment. How beautiful.
So these are about 5 kilograms.
That's it? All right. That's give or take around 12 pounds, folks, because I'm having to adjust and learn tons of new things on this trip. Being an American, we work in pounds, so it's like 2.2.
Yeah.
We have to be unique. Oh, this is great. So simple USB connection and then power.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Greatness. It's definitely beautiful. And then it actually has a screen up here. Obviously, it's not plugged in, but this is a screen that lights up green, which matches with their color scheme. And this is how you make all of your little fine adjustments. And what does this knob here do?
For tensioning for the gear changes.
Okay.
Right, can't do it at the moment.
Okay. Awesome.
So it just helps a little bit with that.
And then he was telling me yesterday, once you've got it up and powered on, this will vibrate and move like in a real car. It's got the haptics, which you can fully adjust to make more or less, correct?
So you've got just under 3 Newton meters of torque on the motor.
Wow.
So more than you'll need. Way more than you'll need.
Right. It's never that difficult to work a shifter in real life, but awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem at all. No problem.
Yeah, they've got some epic stuff. Well built, robust, and it looks good. They even make this rugged looking one. So this isn't old and beat up. This is actually a look that some people really like and wanted, the look of it being, you know, like rustic. So they went ahead and did that. It's awesome when companies listen to, is that a gun? No, definitely not. This is actually a H pattern shifter that has force feedback and haptics in it. It's a new product being released by BDH Racing Sim hardware. Absolutely cool. Is that a gun?
That was our first ever prototype to prove a concept.
How many years ago was that?
5.
5 years ago. First product.
And
How
it's all
cool.
just stuff that was laying in bins in the garden shed.
Really? So you threw it together?
Just threw it together to see if there was something we could do. Well, something the dad could do.
Right. And now look at you. Blown up. Got a whole company around it with 4 different products currently, right?
5.
5. Okay. This is coming out. That's new. Then you've got
H2SQ.
that can switch.
Yes,
Then
so that's your
yep.
sequential H.
Cool. And then over here you have just the H, and then this is what, the H rugged?
So that one's the H1SQ.
Okay. Oh, the
So
older
that's-
one. Yep, the original.
That's the original dual mode,
Yep.
and that's the reincarnation of it, really.
Okay, what are the differences between the 1 and the 2?
Can't say too much because it's giving away some secrets,
Oh, okay.
which is why we've been quite quiet when people are asking it on social media.
All right,
and all
fair
that.
enough.
But it's parts inside, like how it connects, how it engages gear.
Copy that.
Just to
Okay.
make it more solid. So, for example, just wind that off a bit. So if you feel that yourself, feel quite soft. I've put it
Yes.
quite soft intentionally. But then feel the engagement on that.
Okay. More direct, you definitely feel that
It's a lot
that bite point.
stronger. Yeah. It's
Okay.
a lot stronger, and also the sequential as well. So the sequential mode. There it is. It's very low pressure again. But if we do that,
Here we go. Learning the differences right here live. Perfect.
it's very clicky.
Yes.
It's not as nice.
Okay.
It's just more, well, not gimmicky, but it's just a bit too clicky.
It's not
We
as
were
refined
never-
as you like.
Exactly.
Okay.
We were never,
You never loved it as much as you wanted to.
yeah,
Gotcha.
that's it.
You were
So
never
it's like,
quite happy with it. Okay.
There was just something we were like, we can make this better.
All right.
We can make this better, and we will make this better.
Awesome.
So we did. You
Okay.
know, it's just as straightforward as that. We did it.
And what's the price point on the version 2? Give or take.
I think, off the top of my head, we've just lowered the price recently.
1,100 pounds-ish?
Oh, no, it's
Less. 800 pounds.
£850 plus taxes.
Okay.
I think, off the top of my
850
head.
plus taxes.
All the prices are on the website, if you're local.
Sounds good. All right. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. I'll circle back later to get a ride on it. Yep. All right. Let's pop back over and let's take an actual look. I wonder if I can zoom in here. Oh, I can. That's epic. So there it is. Again, that's the new H pattern. And you can see the LEDs or the screen up top lighting up in green, letting you know which gear you're in. You can also change the way it shifts. It's a 5-speed, a 6-speed. Is your reverse gear need to be up top as opposed to down below? Back up. Definitely gets grainy when you zoom in too far. And that's a full loop. We've seen, I can't ever say everything, but we've seen lots. So if there's any questions that anybody has, let me know what they are. Let me know what products you still want to see or things you'd like to circle back to, and I'm happy to do that for you. Also, what games do you guys play? I know we've got some flight simmers in here. Are you guys more of a set of Corsa players, or are you more into iRacing? Again, I'll never say we've seen everything because there's still so much, but we've seen a lot. Lines for food, it's about 3 p.m. here. And folks are hungry, I know I am. I haven't eaten since breakfast. But we've been live now for about 80 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. So to all you folks that have tuned in, thank you so much for sharing in the fun. We've had people enjoying themselves. We've had people that are, against it and negative. It is what it is. It's all good. Max plays VR for Slauson. Okay. Check this motion rig out. ThermalTake, the computer company's got a booth set up, and they've even got products, which is pretty gnarly. I didn't know they, made things in the sim racing realm outside of actual computer parts. So they've even got their own motion rig, like that is stamped ThermalTake. So cool. Definitely have to check that out pricing wise, because I have no idea. I didn't know it existed. We all know them for building, amazing PC products, coolers, things of that nature. But now they're playing in the sim space. Bunch of wheels. These things kind of remind me of like a Fanatec-ish type. And this kind of looks like the new Cube control wheel. Look like they bit that a little bit. Speaking of which, I know we didn't touch that yet, so we'll head over there to Cube Controls. They've got some pretty awesome wheels as well. We'll see the few products that we may have missed. This is actually my first trip to, no, it's not my first trip to Europe, but it is my first trip to Germany and the UK. I was in the UK earlier this week. I've been to Spain before on my lone trip to Europe, and I spent about, I believe, 10 or 11 days there. It was awesome. I went when I was in college, so that was quite a while ago. Another motion rig. Woo woo elk. Whoa whoa elk. My guy's off-roading. Look at the movement. It's quite a bit of movement. It looks pretty smooth, actually. So that's different. And let's see. It says 3 platforms. So it works with PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. I didn't know that. So you've got different modes, entertainment mode or personal mode. 5G4 speed experience, okay. My only concern is how the rig is strapped to it, you know, as opposed to being bolted and rigid, but I do see bolt holes, so I assume you have to get your profile rig on it without too much issue. I'll have to circle back later and scan the QR so I can look up more information on them. Okay, another motion company I didn't see. And they kind of got the enclosure to block some of that outside lighting. That stuff definitely adds to the immersion. Makes you feel a little bit more like you could be in a real car. All right, here's the pricing on this rig. It looks like it's $5,500 without taxes, and then right now they have an early bird program that's 4,500 euros, not dollars, euros without taxes. Very unique. So it looks like instead of their actuators being up and down, the actuators are sideways, and based on the direction they push the rods, that's what makes you go up, pitch, roll, and yaw. Unique. I don't think I've seen something that's quite set up that way yet. Motion always gets the biggest crowds. Long of the crowd. More race cars and race products. Epic. The prototype cars are always awesome. Super dope. Wonder how loud this thing must be. Companies. 59 euros. Affordable. I think some of the gloves I saw were more like 69 euros, 89 euros. So let's call that about $100 US, since that's the exchange rate, give or take. All right. So we've seen pretty much everything over here on this side. We're gonna go look for Sabelt really quickly, that make all of like the amazing racing seats and such. And here they are. And then I believe on the other side from them is actually the cube wheels and all that stuff. So here we go. They make rigs as well. This is the company that makes all of, or most of the seats that go in like Ferrari race cars and a lot of other companies' cars, the Porsche GT cars and such. They design and make the wheels for them. And they have a sim racing division, which is what's out. They've got rigs, profile rigs, tons of different seat options. You can customize the color. You can pick your stitching. You can pick, you know, the shell color as well as the insert color and even your own custom logo. I like this seat a lot. More options and colorways. Obviously, that blue and yellow wouldn't have been the colorway I went with. This is something a bit more my speed, black and red. I might probably go closer to all black with like a red stitching would be something cool. But tons of customizability. That seat right there, this would be the one. This would be the one. With all the more plush feeling padding. The grind and go, these are guys that have, you know, really big I ratings. They're really fast on the simulators. They also do coaching and such. The Porsche wheel in action again. And then here's their like care package, right? This would be dope. Gloves, hat. They also make seat belts and branded gear. I think my next racing seat, without a doubt, will be from them. It's not going to be a formula style just because I do other things. If I didn't do other things, I would definitely prefer a formula style seating position and wheel. All right, folks, here in the group, in the chat, watching live, what do you guys want to see? What products are you most interested in? Right. We've made it over to Sim Factory and to all of these cube wheels, which are extremely popular. They make good products. The buttons feel pretty good. You've got pretty much everything you'd be looking for. Tons of new stuff. This is one of their newer wheels as well, the Astra. They make high quality stuff. They're known for being, you know, they've been around for a while. I think one of their most famous wheels is their Mercedes wheel, which is over there. We'll walk over there in just a second. Depending on what you race on, you can customize pretty much every aspect. Get it colored how you want, which is always nice because, you know, everybody wants things to kind of be their own. And of course, they work with all the Daniel Newman Racing profiles. So that means you can get the LEDs and lights however you want. So here we go. I believe this is one of the wheels that they're most famous for. I've never tried their brake pedal, so that may be something I come back and give a try in a little bit. This is it. This is the wheel. This is the AMG Mercedes wheel they're most famous for. Not that one. My mistake. Racing, programmer. What racing game do you like? Go ahead, brother. Thank you. And of course, the car. Epic. Hard not to like. You like Forza? Okay. What system do you play on? Xbox or PC? So they get the airflow going through the intercooler. That's unique. Oh, so they play on everything. Okay, great. Forza is a super popular game, without a doubt. And here we are. We're kind of finishing up our lap. We're now on the pretty much the outside. We'll finish by walking past SRP and some of their new products. We've obviously got GT Omega, who's known for making, like, I guess, chassis and stuff, putting together sims for you that way. There we go. Check these out. Inverted pedals. And SRP's got a discount. If you're interested, you want some, go ahead and use the discount code. Here's the price of these pedals. A little steep. Don't know what the conversion rate is, but I'm going to guess it's probably a little higher. You want to see some of Moza stuff? Okay, I'll run over to where Moza is in a second. I think they're actually right here. Over here with GT Omega. I was curious. I didn't remember where they were. So here's some of Moza's new stuff. Some of their new wheelbases that they released. They're 25, the big boy, and then they're 21. I'll put you guys down real quick just so I can pick it up and see how they feel weight-wise. I don't remember what they actually weigh, but oh yeah, this is a tank. This is actually really heavy, just like all of Moza's products. All their stuff is pretty darn heavy. New DDU. You can adjust the height of it, which is nice. And then it looks like it just bolts to the top of your wheelbase, just like that. You're getting the 25, okay, that's cool. And then for the pedals, I'll come over and check those out. Moza's a good company in terms of, you know, where they are and what they plan, cost-wise. I've had a few of their products, and to me, they always leave, the products are heavy and robust, like they won't break, but it's always like a software issue. They're always just a little bit of software away from the product being really good. So I used to have the Active pedal. I had 2 of them, and then obviously pretty much this clutch. And after trying the Simucube products, I sold them immediately and kept it moving. But again, if you play on multiple systems, it makes a lot of sense for you to be running, you know, Moza stuff. You want to see the Moza wheels? All right. You're getting the 25 and the R3, really. Is the R3 what you're going to be using on systems, I guess, like PlayStation, Xbox? All right, let's go find some more of their stuff. I don't see any of their wheels over here, actually, so let's go see what's being used. Here we go. Okay, cool. So you're going to stay with the same ecosystem because you kind of know it, you know it well, and then you'll be able to, I guess, swap the wheels in between both bases, right? That's great. Another one of their wheels. I like the look of this wheel, if nothing else. I think this wheel looks really cool. What's going on, bro? Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I just bumped into like a 12-year-old, almost knocked him over. I feel like a POS. Oh, that's Asetek stuff. All right, what else do you want to see? Sorry for whipping you around, but I had to recalibrate and get this thing centered. All carbon fiber. So if any of you guys, you know, watch sim racing type stuff on YouTube, I know you know who this is. I like his energy on camera. He's fun. He's a pretty darn good sim racer, and then he actually got into real racing recently, which is pretty cool. More and more people are making that leap, and it seems like the skills they build in sim racing are directly translating. These Recaro seats are madness. I love Recaro stuff. Obviously extremely expensive, but the quality is outrageous. Oh, and there he is. There's the man himself. All right, so you want to see Fanatec and Thrustmaster. Okay, we'll head over there. We did kind of run through those earlier in the stream. We were at Thrustmaster walking through their stuff early on, as well as Fanatec. But since you're here live, I'm not going to tell you no. I'll walk over there for you happily. Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. And the reason why I'm going live again isn't for me. I'm here experiencing, enjoying. It's just for the folks that would have wanted to be here but couldn't make it. So Thanks for tuning in. I'm happy to show you the things you want to see. We're going to go to Fanatec first, and then we'll head over toward Thrustmaster. Novus Motion, awesome. I liked the system a lot. It felt smooth, but also had the ability to move you around. This is not a car show. This is a Sim Racing Expo. It's called literally that, Sim Racing Expo. We're in Dortmund, Germany, but the lines are being blurred between sim racing and real racing nowadays. It's getting far more realistic. So tons of people are actually, going from sim racing to real racing. And one of the best drivers on the planet, Max Verstappen, is an avid sim racer himself. But yes, TJ, there are tons of cars here, which is pretty cool. All right, so these are Fanatec's new pedals with a 200 kilograms of force in terms of the load cell. Check these out. I haven't had the opportunity to drive them. As I said earlier, the lines are really long, and I'm kind of impatient personally. So maybe I'll get the chance like closer to closing time around 6 when everybody leaves. So check this out. They've kind of got obviously little holders for your foot as opposed to being on a flat plate like this. And then also they've got the individual, almost like, I guess, holders for your shoes so you don't slide left or right. Your foot can just stay on the pedals as opposed to slipping off if you move it, such and so forth. I'm not sure how that would work in terms of having 3 pedals, because you'd obviously want to be able to move your left foot between clutch and brake or however you do it personally. Check out this wheelbase. Pretty beefy. I don't know the actual information and statistics on it though. New quick release. I think this is actually it right here. Let's go take a look and see what people are actually. These are the old pedals, new pedals with the new setup. Let's take a look. See what it looks like when they're in use. That man's awfully close to somebody's feet. I'm not a big foot guy. And programmer, thanks for the subscribing. I really appreciate it. Older pedals. Some of their newer like ring setups. Anybody played the new Asetek Racing Evo yet? I haven't played it. I'm definitely gonna get on the rally though. I plan on starting to get into that very soon and playing that almost daily. All right, off to Thrustmaster. They're over there in the corner, so as soon as we don't get run over, tons of people out, which is epic. There are truly people from all over the world. Obviously, tons of people from Europe because it's close, but people from Australia, Africa, the US. I've ran into some Canadian folks as well, and some folks from South America, specifically Brazil. All right, programmer, so what is it that you want to see over at Thrustmaster? What interests you the most? Passing by the competitive arena. So we'll take a quick look while we're here. Wheelbase has got it. It is a very loud background. And back here, we've got the MC, announcer.
They are very good, even though they don't race week in, week out with it.
So Vasilius Veletiosis and Lawrence Lerner, identical.
All right, wheelbases, here we go. And pedals, and wheels. So you want to see it all, no worries. All right. Here we go. Some of Thrustmaster stuff.
Wenn man es einmal gespielt, immer der Regenbogen ist, einmal.
Let's take a look and see how it actually feels. It kind of feels more, I don't want to say belt-like, but more rubbery in nature as opposed to like, you know, your normal direct drive base. All right, on to some of the other products. This is definitely a lot smoother than the other one. R3, boom, different buttons. Here's some of their pedals. The actual pedal plates themselves look cool. Definitely for people who are wearing shoes, right? Ferrari style F1 wheel. And then here are more of their wheels up on the wall. All right, there's pricing on their next gen direct drive wheelbase, kind of probably what you really wanted to see. There it is, PC and PlayStation. So I believe the difference with the setups is between PlayStation and Xbox. Correct me if I'm wrong, since it's what you use, gamer. With PlayStation, the wheel base has to work. With Xbox, the wheel itself has to be compatible with the Xbox. Again, if I'm incorrect, please correct me. GT wheel add-on. Formula style wheel, which we just kind of saw. There's the GT3 wheel. This is probably my favorite wheel from them, without a doubt. I love like the wood grain looking feel. And then they got a new hypercar wheel that looks, you know, definitely interesting looking. Thing I like about Thrustmaster, again, is, you know, price and affordability. There's something out there for everybody, no matter what your preference is. You don't have to be a snob or be bougie or say, you know, I only buy expensive stuff. They're one of the companies that keep sim racing and, you know, this genre alive for so many people. So I tip my hat to them for that. Here's someone driving the new wheelbase. This is the new rally game, Asetek Racing Rally. Check this out. This is one that I'm super excited about. And rally driving is hard. It's a lot of wheel inputs, a lot of quick movements. Again, people say that this game is a bit more difficult than, say, the EA Rally WRC game because the tires are less grippy. On the EA Rally, it's like you got unlimited front end grip. You can just full send it, you'll be fine. On this, braking and understanding your speed and how your car actually corners is a little bit more important. All right. Excuse me, sir. All right. I'm gonna get down low real quick and just show you the pedals in action. If this thing would move how it's supposed to, there we go. All right, guys, what else do you guys want to see? They have them all set up here on PS5s over here on this side. I'm assuming the other side might be Xbox. And then the pedals down there for you, programmer. Well, these are on PC. Cool. There we go. All right, anything else you folks want to see? We've covered most things. Again, I can never say I've seen everything. I'm sure there's some things that we haven't seen or that I've forgotten. That's just the nature of the beast, right? How's it going, guys? All right. If there's nothing else you guys want to see, I'm going to shut down the stream, go use the restroom, and then grab something to eat. I think I went live around 1:30-ish, so we've been at almost 2 hours, and I didn't eat lunch, so okay. Logitech. Let me find where they are, because I don't know where they have their stuff located. So let me go take a look and try to find that out. I don't really game on console, so you know it's not something that I really thought about or paid attention to. But I'll try to find them for you, happily. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for asking your questions. That's why I put this stream on, to hopefully answer some questions and show you guys what it is that you want to see. Looks like they started up one of the cars. I'm sure you can hear it. So we'll just kind of head to where the noise is at the moment to see what they've got running. But while we're passing by, new button box control center from Bavarian SimTec. DDU, absolutely love it, with the beacon lights. The industry's getting so crazy, and they've got all your fast charges and stuff for your phone. You know, that they're making life very easy. And then here's them just showing that they work kind of with everybody's stuff. This is the setup I want. I want this wheelbase, I want this wheel. All right, ActtoRacer Racing is not Logitech. I think when I started the stream, at least one of the companies at the entrance had Logitech stuff. But while we're passing ActtoRacer Racing, take another look at their DDU. This is massive. They've got an 8-inch dash, definitely unique. Angel Rose, what's going on? Hello. Sparker, thanks for tuning in, of course. All right, Angel Rose, this convention is in Dortmund, Germany. It is called Sim Racing Expo, and this is my first time coming, but from what I heard, if I'm not mistaken, this has been going on for like 12 years or more. So it's a very big expo. They've got, I think last year was like 12,000 people, this year is 15-ish thousand. This is day 2 of a 3-day event. So it's been awesome. You know, tons of brands, tons of companies, tons of products. How's it going? To check out more motion, simreactor.com. Check it out. They've also got a belt tensioner. Just since we're passing, might as well show it, you know. There's tons of motion products, and motion is becoming more and more affordable. And all this stuff pretty much works with every game. If you're into flight sim, racing sim, I do think motion is one way to add a little extra immersion. And then this is another interesting simulator. Check this one out. They're running the World Rally also, or the Asetek Rally game also. But check it out. It's got weights attached to it as counters to keep it on the ground. Sorry. Thank you. So you don't got to bolt it down. Definitely unique. What a fast game. Check that out. That thing reacts quickly. It's actually pretty smooth. If you look at like the person sitting in it, his head's not being tossed around too much, even though there is quite a bit of motion.
You know, it's my time there that
Oh, you're up next? Oh, it's yours.
No, my time is there.
Oh man, see? He's not gonna beat you. Unless he's finished, he might have a chance then. If he's not finished, he's got no chance. Alright, so the time of the day on, is this the Asetek course the one?
No, Dirt Rally.
Oh, Dirt Rally, okay, cool. How do you like it?
It's good. I think it's
What's the best one for you?
I have played Rickard Burns Rally, Dirt Rally 2.0, and the newest WRC.
Yep.
Of course, I like the WRC now because there's the new Rally 1 cars with the hybrid. But I think that has a place in my mind that, you know, I have played that so many hours that one of my favorites for sure.
Okay.
And then especially this stage in Finland.
Oh, okay. It's a fit. Oh, yeah. So no wonder you know this one at the back of your head.
Especially, I don't need to hear any notes or see the notes. Just, you know, try and get
Seriously?
the flow.
Oh wow. All right. He's got the fastest time of the day, of course. My dude's quick regardless. That's epic.
It's also fastest in Chicago at their booth.
See, fastest in Chicago as well. Look, get this man in a real car, man. Let's see what he's got. That'd be cool. That'd be absolutely dope.
You can ask the guys there that, what about the Finnish guy, and they know me already. They know me.
For sure. No, that's epic, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a nice motion.
Yeah, it is.
Aggressive, but it's nice.
That's what's up. Yeah, man, you gotta start streaming some of your when you play at home.
Yeah.
You gotta start just doing it on Instagram on your phone or something. It'd be sick.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. All right, bro.
Take
I'll
care.
circle back. I'll see you later. As you can see, he got the Simucube shirt on. He works for them. I met him in Chicago. Really good dude. The Simucube people are a lot of fun. Most of them are pretty big gamers themselves. They're not just people who like make the product, they actually use it, which to me is very important. More Fanatec, some more Moza wheels, which we've already seen most of. So they just got a little bit of everybody's stuff. I don't see any Logitech stuff in here, so we'll keep on moving. Another motion rig. Motion is the new wave, I'm telling you, in everything. Everybody's creating motion rigs. Everybody's looking for motion. I know I love it. I have a 3-DOF motion rig at home. All right. So here's the only Logitech stuff that I've seen so far in the laps I've done. Boom. They also have some new, like a haptic vest. I don't fully understand it, but I'll ask my guy over here from BDH Haptics to explain a little bit more about how that works. All right. Here's all the Logitech stuff you asked for. Pedals, wheelbase and their wheel. All right. So I'm live on YouTube right now. Can you explain to me a little bit about the haptic vest? All right, find somebody. Hey guys, how's it going? Can you explain to me a little bit about the haptic vest, how it works?
Yeah, the haptic belt that you can play. The haptic belt has it's very loud.
It's very loud. Yeah. They just started. Wait a minute. We'll just watch kind of the racing. They started a race car and it's extremely loud. So in just a moment, when that quiets down, we'll get some information on the haptic vest. You can see there's also some wristlets and whatnot. So I'm interested to find out what all data it's getting. My guess is it plugs into the car. I'll show you kind of what looks like the data sheets with some of the data points. There we go. All right, coming back. Here's someone trying it on. We'll just kind of come over here and take a look. Interested in checking them out a little bit more on their own. Here's some of the information. All right. As to where you can put it. There we go. So plug-in for Simagic to where we're playing. Definitely something unique. I'm gonna put it on. So that I can talk about it as he's telling me. Put this down real quick. Put it on. What do you think so far? Interesting? Yeah. We'll walk around and take a look real quick at the actual screen that he's touching so we kind of have an idea of what's going on. No. That's crazy. Imagine playing Madden or something like that with this and you get hit and you feel, some type of a haptic. Unique. That's kind of cool. Well, again, I know I don't want to waste your guys' time because I know people, myself included, we don't want to wait too long for stuff. So we'll keep it moving. Maybe I'll try that on my own and post a video later. And if you guys are interested in tuning in, you can check that out at a later point in time. But anything else you folks want to see before I shut it down? We're just about at 2 hours on the nose. So if there's anything else you want to see before I shut it down, please let me know. We talked about the 7 Sim earlier, right, with the motorcycle. All right, guys, it's been real. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you saw some of the products that you were interested in. If I missed anything, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. It's been a blast, it's been a crazy day. Tons of folks here. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something you enjoyed. As I always end things, may there be wind beneath your wings. I'll tap in with you guys very soon. Peace. should have ended, but all right.